Hi everybody, with Warzone Season 6 on the 29th of September 2020, we're going to have a new way to get around Verdansk. We're going to be able to use the underground subway. So what I thought we would do is we'd go through the Warzone Mastery Guide to the Verdansk subway system. It's an all-new fast travel system, and we have the tips needed to master this subterranean system. I'll put the links to this really cool aspect, actually. It's great that Call of Duty put out these mastery guides, and you haven't checked them out, read them. There's probably lots of hints and tips you didn't know about. Here we go. As shown in the recent trailer, Farah and Nikolai have brought the Verdansk subway system, known locally as the Metro, back to life in search of Al-Qatala members hiding underground. With this transportation system fully operational at the start of Season 6, all operators in Verdansk can now use it to get around the Warzone faster than ever before between numerous points of interest. And of course, there is now a few new areas to explore, complete with supply boxes, loose loadout items, which can get your whole squad on the right track towards victory. This is your Warzone Mastery Guide to the Verdansk subway system. So let's have a quick look at this. So there's a station, Lozov Pass, one at Verdansk International Airport, one in Torsk Block, that must be where the load of buildings are, one at the train station down the southwest, one at the Baraket Shopping District, one in downtown in Tovorsk District, and one at Verdansk Centre. Please be advised, it says, in the event of an environmental hazard occurring at destination, train will continue operation to the next nearest safe station on the line. So what that means is, and I'll talk about this in a second, is you can't run down these tunnels, as far as I'm aware. It's instant death if you try and touch the lines, and if you get onto a train, the train will only start moving if there's no fighting going on. So in the train station, and I guess if as you're travelling to the next station, if fighting starts at this one, the train will carry on through. Also, if the circle is collapsing, the train will not take you to somewhere where you're going to die. It'll stop rolling at that point. So that's pretty cool. I don't know if that means it will take you out into the blue and then back again to a say the circle was kind of like that, sort of round Verdansk Centre, and whether it would take you all the way around here and you'd be safe. I don't think so. I think it just wouldn't go. You'd have to take the counterclockwise train that way, wouldn't you? Lay of the land, Verdansk subway system. At the start of every Warzone match, the Metro will have a number of open stations to explore. All of them have the same layout thanks to the massive urban planning initiative Verdansk underwent when these were first constructed. From the ground level, head down a large staircase set and hop past the set of turntiles to reach the first landing. Here, a set of archways and a tiled wall breaks up an otherwise open space that leads to an inaccessible ticket office. Once down at this landing, turn left or right to find a staircase down to the station's platform, where old posters are plastered onto the walls, along with a handy graphic that marks what station an operator is currently at. The platform itself is broken up into two halves, with each side dedicated to a different direction of the subway line. Both sides have a small room, such as an employee break area or equipment closet, that can be accessed via double doors. Nearly every one of these rooms also has a near escape ladder, which leads up to a hole in the surface a few dozen metres from the main subway staircase entrance. Whether it's in these rooms, on the platform, or even back at the previously accessible ticket office landing area, there is potential for items, supply boxes and contracts to populate these otherwise abandoned subway stations. After scavenging for items, head to the main platform and hop aboard the subway to access the new fast travel system. Trains will arrive frequently at each station during their journey around the map in a clockwise or counterclockwise fashion through the following locales in order. Yeah, because you've probably been down into these little subway entrances many times. This one by the so that's by the airport. That might be a new one actually, but there's one by the train station that you can go down into that I've used lots of times to hide in, in the circle. So Verdansk International Airport. So that would be that one there. Each train's interior design... So, alright, this is better. So there's one at Verdansk there. Oh, is that... Alright. Actually, it's a bit of a funny map, this, isn't it? That's the train... That's the train station there, isn't it? That's the airport. That's sort of where some buildings are. Or is that the train... No, that's the train station there. That must be the shopping centre one, I think. So that's downtown. That's east of the stadium. Oh, that's an interesting one up near the north, isn't it? Can't think what's there. I guess have you got them? There's Cask Quarry there. So it's up really near Cask Quarry. Each train's interior design may not have been updated since the system was first built, but despite their retro appearance, they are still equipped with some state-of-the-art technology that mitigates issues involving the circle collapse and combat. Specifically, a subway train will not move to a station that is under the effects of the circle collapse. This avoids a situation of a squad hopping aboard a subway that leads to an untimely death, unless of course it's at the hands of another squad waiting at the next station, so you could get station campers. Speaking of fighting, if there is no room for rough housing aboard the metro. In fact, the subway will not move at all if there is any conflict on board or between the train and the platform, so keep fighting to the platform, stairwells and outside the station. The subway will not move at all if there is any conflict on board. Right, okay, so if people are fighting on the platform, the train will move, but if there's people shooting from the platform to the train or vice versa, the train won't move. What will be interesting to see then is if that will then stop the whole of, say, the clockwise train stop moving, because they can't overtake each other unless there is a way where the trains can bypass a station and they go to the next station, like they kind of said at the beginning. We'll have to find out, won't we? So keep fighting to the platform, stairwells and outside the station. Okay, so there we go. There's another picture. Top 10 tips. In summary, here's how you and the whole squad can master the Verdansk subway system. It's the fastest way to get around Verdansk. At its core, this is a smart travel system that can be used by any and all operators. While not a massive new zone in terms of surface area, expect its impact on getting around Verdansk to be game-changing. Absolutely. And it's fun, isn't it? That's the big thing I've found so impressive about the updates that they've put into Warzone. Generally they've led to more fun in the game and more interesting things to do in the game. Because one of the things you battle in a battle royale, apart from the other players, is boredom. But Warzone, with things like contracts, with the train that's on the surface, with all the vehicles, and with this new subway system. In between circles, when in downtime, especially in solos, when everybody's trying to avoid each other, it just makes it more interesting, makes the game pass faster, and it makes you know that your 20 minutes or so invested into a game of Warzone will be full of fun things to do. One of the reasons why I don't play as much PUBG as I used to is, and I've played a few more games recently, is that because I really enjoy playing solos, you have this big empty time in the game, which is fine. That is what PUBG is all about, and that slowly ratchets tension. If you want to play that way, the way I play it. And I'm thinking, well, do I really want that, or do I want to jump into another game where my game doesn't have the same payout as a PUBG chicken dinner does, because that's one of the ultimate feelings in gaming. But something which is more enjoyable for more of the time. And this is really good, the fact that they have stuff like this. Tip 9. The one true safe area. Remember that the subway will not move if there is fighting aboard a subway train or between it and the platform. Use this limited downtime to reload weapons, swap items around the squad, or just take a breather before getting out of the next stop. Yeah, so when you're on the train, I guess you can have a truce with another squad, but there's not going to be any fighting. Mind the gap. This almost goes without saying, but don't try to step onto the subway tracks. Not only is it a recipe for death, but your squad mates will most likely be unable to pick up any belongings after your adventure. So you won't be able to run down the tunnels in between, which, it would be nice to be able to do that, wouldn't it? That would be, but for some reason they've decided to do that. Whether they might open that up in the future, the metro is broken down. You can now travel on foot, and I think metros are really cool. I'm thinking back to the subway stations and the subway lines in the Division 1. I don't know if you've ever played the Division 1, but I played the Division, the first game, without really watching any guides or any videos or anything like that. And I remember the first time, and I'd explored a large part of the map, large part of Manhattan, and then I climbed down this manhole cover, I think it was, into the subway below New York, and I was like, all right, this is quite interesting. And then I went down a tunnel and realised the tunnel went on and on for ages and led to another part of the map, and I was like, this is amazing. Oh man, I love the Division. Love the Division 1. Division 2, I guess I haven't played that much of it. It's a better game, sort of in terms of graphics and probably gameplay and stuff. But the beauty with the Division 1, it was New York, wasn't it? It was Manhattan. You go to Times Square and stuff. Anyway, leave no corner unchecked. Much like other interior spaces around Verdansk, there are plenty of item gathering opportunities within each subway station, especially in those small rooms on the platform level. There is now more to these metro stations than what appeared on the surface. So there you go. Much like other interior spaces around Verdansk, there are plenty of item gathering opportunities within each subway station, especially in those small rooms on the platform level. There is now more to these metro stations than what appeared. Right, there's now more to them what appeared on the surface. Right, yes, because they never used to go anywhere, did they? In case of emergency, use ladder. The escape ladders found at every metro station can either be used as an alternative entrance to the fast travel system or as an emergency exit in case fighting underground becomes unbearable. However, because these ladders lead to holes on the surface, be extra careful around the subway stations or you might step over an escape hatch and take an embarrassing trip to the gulag. Right. Yeah. Yeah, I wonder if they'll have a flap on the top, a door to go through. Or it's just a hole. Right, I think they're just saying it's a hole, isn't it? Yeah, because if you because the problem is you can't deploy your ladder, can you? You can't deploy your parachute when you're falling down these holes. Like when you go to the top of the tower in a fire station and you fall off the ladder and you're trying to press the button to deploy your parachute or grab onto the ladder and you just die at the bottom. It's quite funny. Or I can imagine, you'd put mines around them. If you had a claymore or a mine, you'd put it right there, wouldn't you? So someone comes up and gets blatted. Detours and flank routes. These tunnels were key for AQ forces moving around Verdansk quickly without much of a trace. Using the subway system as they did could be a great strategy, as riding the subway for a few stops and popping back up across the map may help your squad shake an enemy team in pursuit or catch a high-value target. Absolutely, if you've got a contract on you, well, I mean, it's brilliant, isn't it? The express track for contract completion. Along with avoiding bounties, the fast travel system could help with a few contracts that may require travel around the map. For example, a supply run could lead to a store mere steps from a station 2 stops down the line, while most wanted operators can duck into the system to avoid hotly contested zones. Fire in the hole. Whether it's down an escape hatch or a set of winding staircases, bounceable equipment pieces such as frag and snapshot grenades can be great tools for smoking out enemy players that lurk below the surface. Just make sure the equipment piece will bounce at the right angle down towards the enemy, lest you and the squad be blinded by a missed-thrown flash grenade. A haven for CQB play, close quarters battle play. Although larger areas such as the first floor landing and station platforms open up for more mid-range weaponry, SMGs and shotguns can be extremely effective within each subway station, especially within the stairwells. An operator who isn't afraid to be up close and personal may find the most success in surviving the metro. Ambush, ambush, ambush. Because of the potential impact of this fast travel system, don't let your enemies use it for free. If you suspect an enemy squad is underground, try setting up equipment traps in stairwells or surrounding the entrance to catch them as they exit. Absolutely. For a more in-depth look at Verdansk, check out the Warzone official strategy guide. So what I'll do is let's open that up just so you can see it, because you might not have come across this already. This is brilliant. The official strategy guide has got so much good information for new and experienced players, and I'll put links to this in the video down below. That was it, Right, great. So there we go. The new Verdansk Metro service goes live with, did we say season 5, season 6? I can't remember what it is. Season 6, which is in a couple of days' time as I'm recording this video. I tell you what, the creative team behind this, well, Modern Warfare 2019, at Activision and Infinity Ward, and obviously I don't really know who develops this, and the technical team who put their ideas into place, they deserve, if they don't get like Game of the Year awards and stuff like this year, if Warzone doesn't win Game of the Year for this sort of game, for a shooter game, with the sheer number of ideas they've worked on some other ideas from other people, but the way that they've implemented in a game that's played by millions of people has really got to be applauded. They've turned Call of Duty around, they've turned Battle Royale around, they've gone to places that I kind of hoped PUBG would go, not in terms of maybe things like subway stations with moving trains on them around a map, but making a game that runs well on consoles, is smooth, and is an exciting experience that attracts millions of players, which is what you need for a battle royale. You need to have hundreds and hundreds of thousands of players so that your lobbies fill up quick, and so that players are playing geographically closer to each other, so the ping for everybody is at a reasonable rate, so it feels like a fair system. But there we go. Big round of applause. Well done. Check out the Metro system when it goes live, and you never know, you might see me hiding in a corner as you run round and I take your life. But there we go. If you've enjoyed the video, hit like. If you want to see more of the same, press subscribe, and of course, I'll see you again soon.